poisoning his well, poisoning the people around him. This place sucks, man. I know the hearts, they were making money. Have you made money? I made money there. Oh, that place sucks. When we get to go to lunch, if you're going to a meeting, let's not go there. Let's go have a beer. You get my drift?
Yeah.
That happens.
Okay.
And I told him, the way you got to do this, man, you got to secret sauce. You got to recruit. You got to always recruit. Even more so when you're making money, you got to keep recruiting. And I'll show you why at the end. I'm putting everything off, but I want you to get the gist of this. You got to always recruit. He started doing it again. Not that he didn't know what he was doing, but sometimes I'm not in the storm that he was in. He's in the middle of a hurricane. I'm looking, observing, and I get it. He goes, you're right. He started recruiting. I get another call from his wife, Ellie. I was in San Diego, I think, and I was going back to New York after 3 weeks, and I get to go home for 3 days. Ellie called me up, man, you got to come by. Why? We're having a special meeting, we're building, I need your help, blah, blah. Hey, Ellie, I will do it for you guys. I changed my flights, I went there, boom. I was half awake, but I did it. From 12, 15 people to 50 people. And I said, keep doing it. We had lunch. The next time he had over 100 people packed in his office. Couldn't even breathe in. There was a line to get in. So bottom line is, it doesn't matter how much experience you have, you got to always stick to the secret sauce. You got to keep recruiting all the time, especially when you're making money. Now I will share this other story. I lived in New York, and I moved from Brooklyn to Bronx, and I was in Westchester, and these guys came from Italy, and they opened this little pizzeria, and I became very good friends with them. I helped them a couple of ways, and they started expanding. And I would eat with my wife in their restaurant once a week. And all of a sudden he comes over to me, Frank, and he says, how's the food? And I looked at him and said, Frank, the food sucks. He goes, what do you mean? And I couldn't because everyone's eating, so I had to whisper to him. I go, the food sucks. What did you do with the sauce? He goes like this. He pulls a chair over. He goes, I had to fire the chef. I go, you had a what? I had to fire the chef. What the hell does that have to do with the sauce? And I'm honest with him. I go, you mess the sauce up, I'm not going to eat here anymore. He goes, I don't know. I use a pain in the neck. I go, what should I do? He goes, you're going to get me a bottle of wine and 3 glasses. I'm not stupid. I'm getting my free wine. I'm not dumb. So he brings over wine, and I have a drink. He's waiting. Okay, I'll give me one. Okay, now I'm ready. So anyway, so he goes, what should I do? I said, Frank, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go back. You trust me, right? He says, yeah, you sure? Because I tell you, if you don't fix this, I can't eat here, man, as much as I love you. You can eat my house, but I'm not, if you don't fix up this sauce, man, I can't do it. So he goes, look. He goes, yo, you trust me? He says, yes. Go back on your hands and knees and beg this person to come back. Give them a raise and 2 assistants. And he just backed. And it's like he dragged. Are you crazy? And he had poured himself to people eating. I don't want to bring that SOB. I said, Frank, you trust me? He said, then do what the hell I tell you. This is what he taught me. So get on your hands and knees, give him a raise and 2 assistants. And he goes, and then what? He's going to take over. Don't be stupid. He's going to act up again. But this time around, when he does, you fire him. You got 2 assistants that now under the recipe at half the price. You gotta keep the secret formula going. You can't screw it up.
Right.
If you mess this up, I tell you, and you're gonna find this. Some people are really good at recruiting. They hate selling insurance. Damn, I'm a good recruiter. All I'm gonna do is recruit, which is okay. You're not making money.
Right.
You're not making this. You're gonna make some money, but you're not making this. Some people say, I don't want to recruit. I can sell insurance. I came here. I know how to sell insurance. And they will sell insurance. They don't want to recruit. They're going to make some money, but they're not going to make stupid money. Now, if you recruit, sell, and you're delivering this, recruits, now you're going to make stupid money, and you're going to make even stupider money. I hate to use that word, but it's true, because now you're building your empire, just like you're seeing it develop here right before your eyes. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So when you're doing this, when you're recruiting, I want you to wear your recruiting cap. Do nothing but recruit. You don't do anything but recruit. When you go visit a client or prospect, you take that recruiting cap off and you put on your sales cap and you do nothing but focus on that client. You cannot recruit the client, don't even think about it. Don't walk in that house trying to sell them insurance, trying to recruit them, because it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna, and think of it this way. In New York, I grew up in the 70s, 67, I will tell you, man, you can take a can and you rub the bottom, the lid falls off, and you walk over to a Johnny Pump, you guys know what that is? Like a hydrant, fire hydrant, right? And you pour the water, garden hose, and drink some water into some, you're fine. Now they say it's poison, but in the old days we could do it all the time. And I still got hair, so it ain't that bad. So anyway, and then a fire truck pulls up, and a fire truck starts blowing out water. Try to drink from that, it blows your head off. If you try to recruit and sell people, it's like pulling up in a fire truck and blasting water at them. They're not going to be able to adjust to anything. They're not going to stand, they're not going to comprehend what the hell you're talking about. You're not going to recruit them and you ain't going to sell them. So it is very important that you do this in the secret sauce manner. You're gonna recruit. Don't do anything but recruit. As soon as you walk into a prospect's house, take that cap off, put on your sales cap, focus on sales, and that's it. So as soon as you step out of the house, take that sales cap and put your recruiting cap back on. That will help you. Yes, sir.
Okay, recruit part, I understand.
Yes.
The formula. But when you sell, what was your like mistake when you sold the insurance? How did you get
Man, you're gonna make me broke today, man. No segue. I'm gonna show you that in a minute. I promise.
Okay.
I promise. But does this make sense so far?
Yes.
You gotta sort it out, because just like my friend's restaurant with the sauce, ain't no different. If that sauce, if you're going to Mexican restaurant, the salsa, if you're going to Chinese restaurant, the soy sauce here, it's got to be just right. Otherwise, the food is not going to taste good. It's got to be just right, and you're not going to make how much?
500,000.
I gotta hear you.
500,000. 24 months.
You gotta say it to make it fruition. It's gonna come true. You gotta know the sauce. Yes, sir. What's your name again?
Greg?
Greg. I love it. Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure I'm
No, please.
understanding you clearly.
Please, yes.
okay? So when you say, when you're recruiting, you recruit only. But
Yes.
when you enter the prospect's house, you take off a hat.
Yes.
You described very explicitly what you meant, what you just said.
What I'm trying to say is I'm not going to walk into a prospect's home, attempt to sell them insurance and
Which
recruit
is
them
a
at the same time.
prospect? A recruit or a sell insurance?
Selling
Or what do you
person.
call a recruit?
A recruit is, I'm prospecting for recruits.
They're both prospects.
Two different prospects.
So
They're
which
not the same.
prospect were you referring to?
If I'm out there looking for people to hire, to bring under my hierarchy, I'm recruiting.
Right.
If I get an appointment to sell insurance, I'm not going to try to recruit that person.
So,
I'm going to focus on selling them
so as
insurance.
an
or
example,
annuities.
let's say you
Yes.
meet me out in wherever.
Yes.
Okay, in your mind,
Mhm.
okay, are you automatically approaching me as a recruit because we are at a Starbucks together, or based on our conversation, you may approach me as I'm going to sell you a
I'll leave
policy.
that up to you.
Okay.
I'll leave that up to you. Just don't try to do both. You got to
Right.
sort. Look at it this way. I'm going to make it easy for you. This is oil.
This is what?
Oil.
Oil.
You know when you open up that olive oil and you drink it, it tastes like crap. It makes you feel nauseous. It is. I like it, but on food, but it just tastes crappy if it's alone.
Right.
This is vinegar. You take a little glass of vinegar, you pour a bottle of vinegar in a glass, you try to drink it, it tastes like crap. This is lettuce. Lettuce is naked. It's like tastes like a leaf. But if I take oil and vinegar, mix it up with some lettuce, you got a nice salad.
Yes,
Throw a
you
couple of croutons in it, maybe a slice of tomato, but you got a tasty salad, don't you?
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
You cannot, one alone sucks, but each ingredient together makes beautiful music, makes a great salad. Now, if I'm approaching you, I'm going to approach you either as a recruit or a prospect. Maybe I'm just going to feel you out before, but when I open up my medicine cabinet and I put my bullets in my gun, they're for a specific reason. I'm not going to do both because it's a fire truck, turning on the hose is too much for you to handle. You don't know what I do for a living. Let alone, I know what I'm doing, but you have no idea. You're a prospect, either for a recruit or insurance. You're clueless about what the hell I'm talking about. Might as well speak Chinese, and I'm learning how to speak Mandarin, by the way. But it's like, what the hell is he talking about? And they'll do this. Yeah, that's great. And then they, yesterday, give them a card, and then they, and they leave. Then they go like this, your card.
Yeah.
Does this sound familiar?
Yeah.
It's not because they're trying to be disrespectful. It's too much for them to digest. We know the stuff they don't. Am I making some sense?
Yes,
So
yes.
this has to be clear for you. Yes, sir.
So why don't,
What is your name?
Shane.
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 Yes, sir.
So I guess the first aspect is keeping the focus
Absolutely.
and also finding.
You're taking his money away, by the way. You're taking his money, okay? Here, fuck it.
and making it relatable to, I guess, your client. So
Absolutely.
that they feel a need for the product.
Well, we're going to talk about that need and everything. I just want you to focus. Whatever your target is, focus on how to take care of that target. Don't mix messages because they're going to get mixed messages, and you're making it easier for them to want to leave. We don't want that. We want to get something. Either I need a recruit or I need a sale, one or the other. Yes, ma'am.
So
What
how
is your
do
name
you-
again?
Then,
Okay, go ahead.
like your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you know the difference between
A recruit?
a recruit
And
and
a
a
sale?
sale when you first meet
I'm
them?
going to show you how to find prospects for life insurance sales. But you know you're there with an objective in mind when you're speaking to somebody. You should know in your head exactly what you want out of this person. If I meet Bill and I see Bill in the store and he's got a type A personality, I'm thinking, damn, that'd be a great recruit, man. And I'm thinking in my head, I got to convince him to come on board. But what is your name, man, with the crick? I love that hat.
Raquel.
Raquel, I almost said Raquel. Isn't that weird? I was gonna say you look like Raquel Welch with that hat on. How
That's
weird
what my
is
dad
that?
named me after.
And your name is really Raquel. You're freaking me
That's
out right
wild.
now.
That's
Read
wild.
your mind. Anyway, yes, Raquel.
Oh no, I have the same question as her. How do you know the difference between a recruit and a sale when you're just meeting someone?
You're objective. You don't know. You get to talk to them, and you got to measure. For example, Bill. I think Bill will make a great recruit because I like his personality. I see him in the store talking to people. I'm like, man, this guy's a networker. I got to get to know this guy. I want him on my team. Or I know you got a lot of money and you're fighting in the bank. I might say, come on, I got a solution for you. Let's talk. I'm thinking of a possible sale.
Right.
You know, you got laid off, for example. I got an annuity sale. I'm going to focus on that sale. I'm not saying I may not try to recruit you after the sale, but right now my objective is to get something done. Make sense? Is that clear a little? Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
What's your name again?
Greg, so is it true?
I'm messing with you, Greg. Thank you.
I get it. So whether you go this route or this route,
Yes.
is it your belief that you can end up with both?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Down the road, sure.
Okay.
But not at the same time.
Right.
And
I know that, but I'm
did-
saying, let's say all you did was recruit.
Yeah.
Let's just say that that's all you did. But through the recruiting, you knew that you were going to sell.
Yeah, and I'll show you that too, I
Okay,
promise.
great.
We're going to touch on that. But right now, for people coming on board who've never sold insurance before, recruiting's kind of freaking them out. On top of it, they got a steady job, and they're convincing their spouse to quit their job and go full time. Let's make it easy for them to make money because I don't have a month, I don't have 3 months, 4 months to wait for them to make money. We need for them to make money now, and they got to be able to digest the formula to understand it and implement it. For example, recruiting, you take that blueprint manual. Have you seen the blueprint manual?
Yes.
Yes.
That blueprint manual will tell you from A to Z how to open up an office, how to recruit, and how to build your shop. I mean, it's phenomenal. That was also Greg's input, and I didn't help with that one, but I did help extensively with this one. That blueprint from A to Z, you should look at it. The blueprint is there for a reason. That's how you build a shop, how do you recruit, you do everything you got to do. The hustle, have you seen The Hustle? I love every part of it. I love Rodolfo, the guy who invented it down in Houston. I love him to death. He's family member to me as far as I'm concerned. But that hustle, what I would look at for recruiting, is fantastic. Matter of fact, there's a part of the hustle that says the difference between IO and term. That's a part I would take out because I'm going to use that later. All right, so you understand this part. That's what I would focus on when it comes to recruiting. You don't want to be the fire truck with water blown out of the hose and they can't digest it. You want to be the garden hose so they can drink it when they're thirsty, eat the food, drink some more. They're digesting it, they're understanding, they can process the information. If that makes sense. Now, when I'm selling, you open up that sales playbook. If you haven't seen that book, how many of you have that book, by the way? Page 250, write it down. That's where you're going to find the Papelito. Papelito means little paper. The Papelito, the real name is a financial needs analysis. I used this in 1985. That's where I made stupid money using this. And if I have time, I'll show you how I did it. But this thing is phenomenal. This little piece of paper is going to be worth a lot of money to you. This is the appetizer to the rest of that book. Because just like the fire truck, if I hand you that, who's got the book? Anybody have the book?
Yeah.
Can I borrow it for a minute?
I've got the Papelito.
No, you got the book?
I have it in
Sales
my
playbook?
here.
Yeah, you can get me a sales play. That's a blueprint.
You have
Yeah, bring it up. I'll show you the blueprint too. Oh, we got it. Yes. This is the playbook right here. This is the playbook. This book is phenomenal. This is great. Greg comes on board and I say, hey, Greg, doing great recruiting, man. I want you to sell. We got this great sales book. Take it, read it, man. Let's get to work. Man, Greg's gonna look at this. Man, this is a nice book. Boy, nice pictures. And I can read this stuff. And he's gonna implement one of these things in about 6 months. Because it's a lot of information. You can't digest this in 3, ain't gonna happen. This book, it is the best book. I'm telling you, in the industry, they want it. We just created this thing. They want it. We're using this as CE credits. We just got approved in California, going state by state for CE credits. That's how powerful this book is. However, this is too much information for someone to digest. All I'm saying is, you open up to the appetizer. This is the wonderful salad. And when they get this appetizer and we're using it, this is the Papelito, page 250. You use this, they're gonna make money today. Not 3 months, not 4 months, not 8 months. Today, we start activity, we start making stupid money for you. Once you're making money, you start understanding it. Once you're understanding it, you're gonna start understanding why to read the rest of the book. Does it make sense? You
Yes.
cannot give someone new this book and expect them to go out there and sell. Ain't gonna happen. I give them a page, they start implementing great. What's your name, sir? In the cool suit?
Tyler.
I'm sorry.
Tyler.
My son's name is Justin Tyler. That's all I won't forget. Tyler, can you stand up a minute?
Yeah.
Now, Tyler, he's a new recruit. I hand him this thing. He's going to look at me like I got 10 heads. However, I'm going to show you a visual how this works. I don't have my keys. Damn, what are my keys? Anyway, I give him my keys to my Porsche. Tyler's going to go, damn, this is nice. He doesn't know how to drive a 5-speed, right? But he thinks it's a cool car. I park him in his house. You know what Tyler's going to do? Call his friends over, take selfies, shine up the car, have a barbecue, tables around the car, show it off. He's going to go up in his house. I got the car, he comes down, he doesn't know how to drive it, but he's thinking this is cool. But instead of doing that, before I hand him my keys, I rent the car, me and Tyler are gonna go out and I'm gonna teach him how to drive a standard car, 5-speed, in maybe 3 or 4 hours. Then I'm gonna hand him the keys to my Porsche. I'm gonna go not only in the street, we're gonna go on a freeway. Then I'm gonna buy him a helmet, we're gonna go on a track. And we're gonna, he's gonna go crazy. Tyler, I see it in his eyes, man, he's got that look. He's gonna drive like a madman, but he's gonna enjoy the car. Now when he parks in front of his house, he's gonna shine that up, calls his friends. Now instead of barbecue tables, he also has barriers, because no one's touching my car. But then when the crickets are out, his friends are out, he's gonna open up the book, he's gonna go, yeah, let me look more about those tires. Let me look about that engine, I wanna know more about it. And where was the car made? Or you open up the door, it tells you where it was made. He's gonna appreciate the car. He's gonna wanna open up the book. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Thanks to both of you. But do you guys understand? We want people to make money today, not 3 months, 4 months. I see it in Lynn's face. She has the desire, wants to make money, but she ain't making money now. That makes me upset. Lynn needs to make money now.
Yes.
I want him driving the car because if he's enjoying the car, he's gonna want to open up the book and learn more. You get my drift?
Yes.
Okay, you ready now? We're gonna start. Okay. Whose book was this that I stole? Yes, sir. What's your name?
Robert.
You got it, Rob. You got a dollar? Well, speaking of which, does anybody have a $20 bill? Anybody? $10 bill, $5 bill, anybody?
Get it back.
No, hey, come on. Anybody have a $5 bill, $10 bill?
20.
Can you write your name on it, please, in big letters? Anybody else have any kind of bill? Big bill, big.
20.
Got a 20, write your name on it.
Write your name on it, please, in big letters.
Am I gonna get it back?
Come on, man. Okay, you serious? Write your name on it, write your name on it, though.
Anybody got 100?
No,
1,000?
Milan's like, I ain't giving my money. See, it looks at me at that corner of her eye. Your name's on it, right? Good. Make sure your name's on it, please. Tyler, Taylor. She's got a bunch of dollars there. She's going male dancing places. I know. I'm kidding. Thank you. Your name's on it, right? Tia, who's this? Okay, Jerry. Shane.
Dr. Bola, did you write your name on it? Okay.
You got a name on it? What's your name on it? What's your name? Put your name on that. Your name on? Who gave me this dollar? Bola. All right. I'll take credit cards too, man. You got credit cards? Your name on it, bro. Okay. We're good? Thank you. I was like, I don't trust this guy. He's from New York, man. Yeah, I need my drinks tonight, man. Anyway, so let's get rolling here. So here's the deal. I've heard about those things with the 25 names. No, listen, throw that out. Throw that out. This is what I want you to do. When you go home tonight, you didn't hear me say that. When you go home tonight, this is what I would tell a new recruit. This is what I'm asking you to do. When the kids are asleep, if you have kids, if they're not, when you sit home, have a glass of wine, soda, whatever, turn the TV off, and I want to clear your mind. I want you to write a list of 100 people who you know. Forget about people who you're going to sell insurance to. I don't want you to be focusing and distracted by that nonsense. I want you to write a list of 100 people who you know. And then fold that piece of paper when you're done and put it away for 3 days. On the third day, it rises again. I'm kidding. But fold it, put it away for 3 days, and I want you to look at it. Now, how much money you got to have?
500,000.
Everybody's got to be together. $500,000. And how long?
24 months.
Keep that in your head. $500,000 in 24 months. That's what you need to have. You got to stay by the restroom, you can. You know, I'm going to keep going if you don't mind. Okay, $500,000 in 24 months. Now, you're going to get a piece of paper when your mind is clear. How many names are you going to write?
100.
Okay, for how many days are you going to put away? Fold it in?
3 days.
3 days. And we'll show you what to do that in a minute. Okay, so we got that in our mind. That is an exercise you need to do. Here's another exercise. For the next 10 days, I want you to pretend that every human being you're speaking with has a post-it on the forehead and it says, "What's in it for me?" I want you to answer that question before they ask you. What does that question ask?
What's in it for me?
Answer the question. The reason I'm telling you to do that for 10 days, your children, your enemies, your friends, answer the question before they ask it. Your life is going to change completely. Your life is going to be like completely different. Your enemies, instead of crossing the street when you're walking, they're going to walk up to you and hug you. Because you're talking about them. It's amazing. A new recruit has no idea we're type A personalities. All of us are too. And we have a tendency to say, hey Greg, we sell life insurance. It's great. We work with Patrick. PHP's the best thing. We got life insurance. We got blah, 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 blah. He's like, yeah, it's great, man. Get the hell out of my face. You get my drift? Yeah. But if I start talking about Greg, that's a cool time, man. How are you? Long time. How are the kids, man? You're looking great. You get my drift? Now he's more open to listen to me. You know there are two Patricks. Did I ever tell you about two Patricks? I worked very close with Patrick, and I will tell you, I didn't know who the heck he was. And here I am. My son's been following, my 20-year-old son's been following for 3 years. I had no idea who Patrick was. I go, let me check this guy out. I put him on YouTube, and I see, this is, don't tell me I did it. This is Patrick. He goes, hey, so building. He goes, and this is me on the other side. This is how I start off. I'm like this. And he's going, and he goes, and then now I'm going fast as me. I'm going like this. Man, I gotta get out there. I don't know why. I gotta sell something. Hurry up. That's how I am. I mean, he has that gift. I'm serious, man. He motivates an ant to move a mountain in front before your eyes. He has that gift to do that. And we're all type A personalities, and we can relate because we want to sell life insurance. And we want to brag about what a cool company says and how much money you can make. So when you're doing this, I want you to be Patrick, the motivator. Then there's another Patrick. I didn't know about this Patrick, but I got to know him and I got to see more of those videos. I used to watch Mark Cuban. When I saw him interviewed, man, I was laughing. Because I've seen him interviewed. Mark's a quiet guy. I don't know him. But it's funny following and watching him. And when I saw Patrick interview him, man, Patrick will ask a question. And then he's quiet. And Mark Cuban is like, and then he starts throwing up his whole life and he goes, damn, I can see him, I'm reading his mind. Damn, I can't believe I just said that in front of TV and millions of people watch me. And all of a sudden Patrick catches that and he throws a distraction snowball. And then Mark Cuban goes and then Patrick will answer a question and ask another question. And Mark Cuban's like, oh yeah. And then he's thrown up again. I can't believe you did it to me again. See, Patrick is using the gift of 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listens twice as hard and speaks half the time when you're interviewing. He has that gift. What does it say on your forehead?
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me? I'm asking you to do this 10 days. Patrick does it naturally. When he's recruiting, he's a motivator. When he's interviewing people, and you don't have to listen to me, watch the interviews. He's literally being Patrick, the interviewer. 2 ears and 1 mouth. He will ask deliberate questions. What's in it for me? He's driving the answer. The person's interested, wants to tell him everything. So I want you to implement it that way. So when you're recruiting, you're Patrick the interviewer. When you're selling, I want you to be Patrick the motivator, and this is Patrick the interviewer. 2 ears and 1 mouth. Focus on the client. What does it say on your forehead?
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me? Answer the question. Give them deliberate questions or answers that they're going to want to talk to you. Talk about them. Don't talk about us. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
Yes.
now, what about this Papelito? What the hell is that? Do we have copies of Papelito? Everybody have copies of it?
Yeah, you want to give those
Where
out?
is it?
They're right here.
We're going to hand you the Papelito. Everyone have a copy?
Yeah, we're gonna have
Who
them.
doesn't have a copy? Raise your hand. I'm going to make sure you have a copy. Now, Papelito was named